Have you ever considered the potential harm of using negative emotions as a driving force to achieve your goals? Today, we delve into an intriguing concept known as dark motivation. This is the process of harnessing negative emotions like anger, fear, and jealousy to fuel our drive towards achieving our ambitions. You see, while the power of positive thinking and the joy of feeling good can be beneficial, they don't always effectively spark action. On the other hand, tapping into our darker emotions can ignite a higher level of energy and focus. It's like using a different kind of fuel to power the engine that drives us. However, with this unique power source comes a fundamental question. What might be the consequences of relying on this dark motivation? Before we continue, remember to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll join our community of like-minded individuals. Together, we can achieve success and wealth as we learn, grow, and support each other. Click subscribe now, and let's dive back into today's topic: dark motivation in action. Let's examine a case where dark motivation plays a significant role. Imagine an entrepreneur. Let's call him John. In the early years of his startup, John was driven by a potent blend of fear and insecurity. A cocktail we've come to understand as dark motivation matter. John had a vision, an innovative idea that he believed could change the world. But this vision was obscured by the looming shadow of failure. His fear wasn't just about losing money or watching his dream crumble. It was the fear of letting down those who believed in him, the fear of not living up to the expectations he'd set for himself. Insecurity, his constant companion, whispered doubts into his ears. Was he good enough? Did he have what it takes? These questions haunted him, fueled his work hours, and shaped his decisions. His actions, his choices weren't driven by the potential for success, but by the terror of failure. This constant state of fear and insecurity, this dark motivation, began to wear him down. His self-worth started to erode. His well-being took a back seat. The venture that was once a dream became a source of stress and anxiety. He was running on a treadmill of fear, constantly moving, but never really going anywhere. John's experience is not an isolated one. Many of us, knowingly or unknowingly, allow dark motivation to guide our actions. We let our fears, insecurities, and negative emotions propel us forward. But at what cost? The cost, as John discovered, was his mental health. The constant stress, the sleepless nights, the relentless pressure of keeping up appearances, they all took a toll on him. He began to experience burnout. His productivity declined, his creativity waned, and he found himself trapped in a vicious cycle of fear and failure. So, it is clear that dark motivation can have serious impacts on one's mental health. It's a compelling force, no doubt, but it's also a dangerous one. It's like a fire that can either forge steel or cause destruction. The choice, ultimately, lies in our hands. The psychology behind dark motivation. But why do some individuals lean towards dark motivation? This question takes us into the realm of psychology, where we delve into the dark triad of personality traits: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. These traits, while not desirable, are often found in individuals who use dark motivation to achieve their goals. Machiavellianism, named after the political strategist Niccolo Machiavelli, involves manipulative behavior and a disregard for morality to attain power and control. Individuals high in this trait often use dark motivation to manipulate situations and people in their favor. They see the world as a chessboard, where the pawns are moved according to their will. Narcissism, on the other hand, is characterized by a grandiose sense of self-importance and entitlement. Narcissists believe they are superior to others and are often obsessed with their personal success. They use dark motivation to uphold this image and will stop at nothing to achieve their ambitions. Now, psychopathy is perhaps the most chilling of the dark triad. Psychopaths lack empathy and remorse, often showing a reckless disregard for the rights and feelings of others. They use dark motivation as a tool for self-gratification, without considering the damage they might inflict on others. These traits are more closely related to external sources of motivation, such as power, success, and prestige. The drive to achieve these external rewards can be so intense that it leads to higher levels of burnout. This is where the mental health risks come into play. The relentless pursuit of these external goals without a balance of internal satisfaction can lead to emotional exhaustion and disengagement from work, the key components of burnout. In a study focusing on the dark triad and their relationship to motivation and burnout in the workplace, it was found that employees high in narcissism were highly motivated, but also more susceptible to burnout. This shows that the interplay between dark traits and motivation isn't as straightforward as we might think. Indeed, the dynamic between dark motivation and these personality traits paints a complex picture. On one hand, dark motivation can drive success and achievement. But on the other, it can also lead to negative outcomes like burnout and strained relationships. As we can see, the dark side of motivation can be a slippery slope leading to mental health issues. So, as we navigate our path towards success, it is essential to be aware of our motivations, ensuring they serve us and not the other way around. Balancing dark and light motivation. Is it possible to balance dark and light motivation then? This is a question that naturally arises when discussing the topic of motivation. And indeed, it's not only possible, but also crucial to find a balance between these two forces. Dark motivation, driven by negative emotions such as fear, jealousy, or anger, can provide a powerful impetus towards achieving goals. However, when left unchecked, it can lead to a downward spiral of self-doubt, anxiety, and even burnout. On the other hand, light motivation, fueled by positivity and hope, can sometimes lack the urgency and drive necessary to push us out of our comfort zones. So, how do we strike a balance between these two? The first step lies in self-awareness. Recognize when you're being driven by fear or negativity, and when you're being propelled by genuine passion and positivity. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment, and use them as tools to drive you towards your goals. Therapy can play a crucial role in this process, providing a safe space to explore these dark feelings. Understand their origins and learn how to manage them effectively. Therapists can provide insights, tools, and techniques to help slow down the negative thought patterns associated with dark motivation and guide you towards cultivating a healthier, more balanced approach to motivation. It's equally important to cultivate an environment where we can be receptive to feedback and criticism. This doesn't mean accepting every negative comment as a truth, but rather viewing it as an opportunity for growth and improvement. It's about having the humility to acknowledge our shortcomings, while also having the confidence to believe in our capacity for success. This balance of dark and light motivation is not an end state, but a continuous process of self-reflection, growth, and change. It's about harnessing the power of our darker emotions to drive us forward, while also cultivating a sense of hope, positivity, and self-belief to sustain us on our journey. Achieving this balance is crucial for maintaining mental health. After all, our motivation, whether dark or light, is ultimately a reflection of our mental state. And in the intricate dance of life, maintaining a healthy mind is the key to not just surviving, but truly thriving. Conclusion and takeaway. So, what have we learned about dark motivation and its impact on mental health? In our exploration today, we've delved deep into the concept of dark motivation, a powerful force fueled by negative emotions such as fear, anger, and jealousy. We've observed how, when harnessed correctly, it can drive us towards our goals with a fierce determination. But there's a fine line to tread. We've also seen the risks of leaning too heavily on dark motivation. It can lead to burnout, create a culture of fear, and potentially harm our mental health. We've considered the psychology behind it, touching on concepts of dark psychology, narcissism, and Machiavellianism, and their roles in shaping this type of motivation. But it's not all doom and gloom. We've discussed the importance of balance. By combining dark motivation with light motivation, that which is inspired by positive emotions and aspirations, we can create a more sustainable and healthier drive towards success. We've learned that dark motivation, like any tool, can be beneficial if used wisely, but detrimental if abused. It's a part of us, a part of our shared human experience. Remember, it's not about suppressing the dark side of motivation, but rather understanding it and finding a healthy balance. Thanks for watching. Embrace the shadows, hit subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. Until then, harness the darkness and forge your path to greatness.